Hey guys, it's Landon Blake with Taught by a Surveyor, and this is the second video we're doing today on some basic geometry. In this video, we're going to talk about calculating areas, right? So when you think about area, when we talk about area, what we're talking about is the amount of space that a shape covers, right? So you can think about if your bedroom is bigger or smaller than your brothers or sisters, or if it's bigger or smaller than your parents. When we talk about is it bigger or smaller, we're talking about area, right? How much space do you have inside your bedroom, right? That's a way to think about area. So in this video, we're going to show you how to calculate the area for three kinds of shapes, right? Basic flat 2D shapes: a square, a rectangle, and a right triangle. Okay, so those are kind of some of the basic building blocks of geometry. We'll do some other videos where we show you how to calculate the areas of irregular polygons and of things like circles and parts of circles, but we'll save that for later. For now, we're just going to do the three easy shapes, okay? Because you can do a lot with just the three easy shapes. Okay, so if you have a square, let's say it's 5 feet by 5 feet, and you want to know what the area is, it's really easy. The formula that we use in geometry is length times width equals the area. Okay, so in this case, our area is equal to 5 feet times 5 feet. Okay, and the answer is 25, but this is important. It's not 25 feet because that's a length. We need an area, measure of area. Okay, so it's 25 feet squared, or square feet. Okay, so usually when people talk about the size of buildings, they talk about square feet. So it's 25 square feet. Okay, so if one way to picture that is if you came in here and you drew a grid of 5 rows and 5 equal columns, right? And you counted those up, there'd be 25 of them, 25 square feet. Each square is a foot by a foot, that's a square foot, okay? So that's one way to think about it. Now, rectangles are basically the same. Okay, so let's say we have a rectangle that's 40 feet wide by 100 feet long. Okay, same formula, length times width, okay, is equal to the area. Okay, so in this case, our area of our rectangle will be 40 times 100, okay, 40 times 100, which in this case is going to be 4,000. Okay, 4,000, not feet, that's linear, right? Remember, area, it's square feet. So if you drew 40 if you drew 40 rows and 100 columns here, and you would have a bunch of squares that would be 1 foot by 1 foot, right? There'd be 4,000 of them in this rectangle. Okay. Now the right triangle is a little bit more complicated. Okay. So the formula for a right triangle. So if we have a right triangle that's 40 feet by 30 feet, okay, which would make that side 50 feet. Okay. The way you do a right triangle is you pretend like it's a rectangle. Okay? So if you flip this right triangle over, you see you would have a rectangle. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Okay? But the triangle is only half of that. The area of the triangle is going to be half of the rectangle. So what we can do is we can take the length times the width from the rectangle formula, but we know that we only want half of that. So it's 1/2 times the length and the width of the rectangle. Okay, but when we talk about triangles, what we say is 1/2 the base times the height. That's how most textbooks will explain it. Okay, is the area of a triangle. Okay, this is the height. Your longest side is your height. This is your base. Okay, so if you do that math, okay, you take 30 times 40. 30 times 40 is 1,200 square feet in this case. Okay, but you got to remember, that's for the whole rectangle. We only want half of that, right? So we got to multiply that by half. 1/2 times 1,200 square feet, okay, is going to give us 600 square feet. Okay, so it's related to the formula for the rectangle, but remember, with a right triangle, you only have half the rectangle, so you got to take length times width, or base times height, multiply that by half. That gives you the area for the right triangle. So now you guys are pros. You know how to calculate areas of these three shapes. So let's just give you an example problem. And I have some worksheets that we're going to post that help you to do this. Okay. So let's just draw you a shape. It's going to have two parts. Okay, so we're going to draw a rectangle that we're going to say is 5 feet by 20 feet. Okay, and then we're going to draw a triangle here with a base of 5 feet and a height of 5 feet. And we want to know what is the area of this. So we're going to call this part A. The rectangle is part A and the triangle is part B. We want to know what is the area of this total. So let's do the math. So we're just going to say part A right here. Okay. Part A, let me write that out a little nicer. Part A. Okay, now we know that's a rectangle, so we use the formula for a rectangle. Length times width is equal to area. Okay, or in our case, the area is equal to 5 times 20. 5 feet times 20 feet, okay, or 100, remember now, square feet. Okay, so that's part A, but we also need to have part B. So we're going to put part B here. Okay, and part B, remember, the formula for a right triangle, the area is 1/2 times the base plus the height, or I'm sorry, the base times the height. Okay, so we've got 1/2 times 5 times 5. Okay, and remember, in the math, you do what's in the parentheses first. Okay, so we have 1/2 times 25 feet. Okay, 5 times 5. Okay, tells us that we've got 12.5 square feet. Sorry, not feet, square feet in the triangle. Okay, so if we want the total of the shape that's made from the union of A and B, if you put A and B together, and we want this overall area, you got to add 100 square feet and 12.5 square feet. Let me write this a little neater. I'm always telling kids they need to be neat when they do their math, and then I'm messy. So we got 100 square feet. Okay. And then we're going to add 12.5 to that. That's this area of the triangle. Okay, so the total area of A and B, the rectangle and the triangle put together, is 112.5 square feet. All right. So we learned what area is in this video. We learned how to calculate the area of squares, rectangles, and right triangles. And we looked at an example problem here of a shape that's made up of two different parts, one a rectangle, one a right triangle, and we showed you how to calculate that total area. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. And we will do some more videos soon on basic geometry.